20 years ago, I met that someone. We met at a Home Depot. Home Depot is better than speed dating, seriously. A dark-haired, handsome sales guy came up to me. I'm not sure if it was the grass in my hair or the confused look on my face, but he asked me out. A whirlwind romance began. He was flowers, he was bubble baths, and candlelit dinners. Within a month of meeting, we were living together. He was my man and he wanted me all to himself. I was in love. But soon, all that would change in a flash. His sweet words became shouts and insults. His sweet kisses became bites. One evening, he would beat me to unconsciousness, and I would end up in the hospital. There, they would tell me that I was 6 months pregnant. My daughter Kendall was coming, and I had to stay with him. The world did not need another fatherless child, not on my watch. In the hospital, when I had enough strength to walk to the bathroom, I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. Right eye blackened and closed shut, hair ripped from the root, and now wait for it, a baby. After 2 days, I would return home from the hospital to find his mother waiting to intercept me. When I tried to leave, I walked out to find that he had slashed all the tires on my car. I checked my checking account, and he had cleared it out. His mother begged me not to press charges because she didn't want him to go back to jail. This same cycle of intense violence and abuse would continue all of the 3 years. One evening, after he had been released from jail for the second domestic violence charge for me placed on him by the state, he came to see me and the kids. All was well until he went to the bathroom and I picked up his coat. A gun fell out of the lining of his crappy London fog coat, and I picked up my kids and left in the dark, quietly. I left everything behind. My house, my job, my friends, my family, everything behind. He would come to my apartment every night and knock on my door repeatedly for hours, break into my apartment while I was sleeping, key my car, and write horror on my front door while me and my children slept. Finally, the visits slowed and the calls would decrease, and he would eventually make his calls once or twice a month, and then once or twice a year. So, after I left my violence, I went to the shelter, and I have to tell you, the first few days were horrible. I hated it, every moment of it. I wasn't a kind person. I was actually pretty nasty to the workers and advocates because this wasn't my life. I was living someone else's life. How dare they treat me like I'm a victim? I'm not a victim. And I wasn't myself for the first few weeks that I was there. Truly, I was trying to deflect where God had put me. And I believe that he put me there that night. I had a moment where one of the advocates at the shelter had gotten tired of seeing me cry. And I had been crying for days. I wasn't taking care of my kids. I just wasn't doing what I needed to do. I laid on this cracked leather pink couch. It was horrible. And she came over to me and said, you know what, you have to remember that there was more than one bullet in that gun. And instantly it was like, you've got to get up for your kids. They didn't ask to be in this situation. And you've got to do something. You've got to do something to build hope for the other folks that are here, that have children like yours. There are women here just like you. So it's time for you to get up and stop crying and know that God just equipped you with another mission, with the next thing you're supposed to do to be everything that God wanted you to be. So I just decided I was going to start my work from there.
Courtney, you know what my favorite thing is about you is your beautiful family.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your family?
Oh my goodness, so I'm married to this wonderful man.
He's awesome.
He's awesome, he's pretty awesome. His name is Gary, and I've got 2 children. I've got an 18-year-old son who just went off to college, and I have a 20-year-old daughter who's in college. My son's Brendan and my daughter's Kendall. And they've defied the odds too because they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing. My kids have been redeemed because they are by far some of the finest human beings that I know. My husband's a fine human being. I have my mom who, after 75 years of being on this planet, has found her mission and her purpose through helping others. I have a wonderful family. What God's big love has done for me, He told me that I was lovable and that I could be loved by a man that would treat me like he would treat me. And then breaking that legacy of violence and abuse in my family forever. He redeemed me from the inside out, and He gave me this huge mission that every day I have to pray into. I'm like, fill me up, because I don't think I can do it today. He's like, you were made for this. So now I'm here, and I'm just amazed at what He's been able to do, and I'm just excited about what He's going to do next.
You're gonna win, you're gonna win. Get up, stand up. Yes, yes you will. It's time to get up, stand up. You just say it. Get up, stand up, and survive.